we are starting off the video in the truck, and that is because we are going to be heading out to pick up a free Indian motorcycle. Now, this is not mine, this is my friend's, but it's a very rare, I would say, bike. I haven't seen it in person yet, but from what I've heard, the specs on it and the history on it and the mileage on it is very, very rare for how old it is. So he asked me if I could possibly get it running. I'm pretty sure it's been sitting for a very long time, the longest anything I've ever gotten running has ever sat. So we're gonna go head over there now and pick it up, probably check it out a little bit and talk about it and kind of overview it. I have a feeling I'm probably gonna be able to get it running. I heard it rotates over, the engine isn't locked up, so we should be able to. But before I go there, I'm just gonna stop at AutoZone quick, pick up some carb cleaner and some other supplies for stuff that we may need for it, and then we're gonna go swing by his house and check it out. But getting stuff running that's been sitting for a while is kind of my specialty, so I'm pretty excited. It's been a while since we've done like a dirt bike motorcycle type revival, especially something like this, so I'm very excited. It's gonna be like an old school video today. We're gonna pick it up, bring it in the backyard, and just start wrenching on it under the sun, and hopefully within a couple hours we'll have this thing running. So guys, that's enough chit chat. Let's get on the road. Alright, got the stuff. Now let's go pick up this bike. Huh, looks a lot like my truck. Alrighty guys, so the bike is behind me and it actually looks in really good shape. So guys, here is the 1975 Indian. I mean, right off the bat, you can see it was last inspected in 1978. So this thing has been sitting for like 42, 43 years.
Since it last ran.
Yeah, since it last ran, which is just insane. And wait until you guys see the mileage once we pull this thing out. Your jaw is gonna be dropped. So guys, it has been pulled out, and this thing looks completely, like complete. Everything looks like it's there. Throttle's a little whack. Sometimes you can tell the condition of the carb just by twisting the throttle, so. But I'm definitely really, really excited to try and revive this thing, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. Look at that mileage. It has 154 original miles. So you said what? So they bought this?
He bought it because his car broke, and it was just using it to get to work in the meantime. And then once he had his car back, he never used it again, really.
That's
a handful of times. That's
insane. Finding one with 154 original miles is unheard of, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's check this tank. Oh. Ooh.
We have to check stuff on this.
Yeah, all right, we'll deal with that later, but as you can see, it is a two-stroke, and I don't really want to rotate the engine over too much because I do want to pull out the spark plug and lubricate the cylinder and everything, because I'm sure there are probably little ridges on the cylinder walls from the rings. So before you like snap a ring off, it's usually best to spray some type of lubricant down there, PB Blaster, WD-40, or oil, honestly, and that's usually healthier for it. I mean, even these tires, these are probably original tires too.
He literally has done nothing with it, really. It's just been sitting in a shed or garage.
This is insane. It is missing a clutch lever.
Yeah, we don't worry.
So if we do get it running, probably won't be able to drive it. This is going to be a fun little bike to work on. Do you know how many cc's it is? My guess is probably like a 125. Usually says it somewhere on the cylinder. Oh no, 97 cc. So it's probably like an Indian something 100, just in case we need to find parts for it. So guys, let's go ahead and get this thing loaded up, bring it back to the house, start trying to get this thing a new life.
Eventually.
Guys, so we were back. As soon as we were about to load it up, we got a call for the fire department. So we're back, and hopefully we can get it loaded this time. bike is all loaded up. Now let's head back, get this thing unloaded, and start looking it over and start checking out possible things. Just kind of getting it ready to get worked on. You know, pull the spark plug, try and look down the cylinder walls, maybe lube it up, let it sit in there and just soak. Because sitting 40 plus years, it's got to have gotten some type of corrosion on those cylinder walls. So guys, I got the bike in the backyard. I just brought it under the trees, under the shade, because it is hotter than the surface of the sun out today. And I absolutely am falling in love with this bike. I'm really upset that it isn't mine. Maybe they'll want to sell it once, hopefully, it gets running. But I mean, just looking it over, just immediately, things I could tell is I believe the front and rear suspension are pretty locked up. I mean, when I was doing the ratchet straps, when I was loading it down, wow, yeah, they're really tight. But when I was doing the ratchet straps, tightening them down, they didn't even go down at all. Suspension isn't the main objective. The main objective is getting this engine running. That is such a tiny carburetor. Wow. And also, I saw this little tank here, and it almost looks like an oil tank. And I'm thinking that this might be oil injected, if I had to guess. So I'm definitely gonna have to do my research on this a little bit, but what I just want to go ahead and do first is, like I was saying before, pull out the spark plug and put some lubricant down there and just kind of settle for a little bit, and then just kind of slowly rotate it over. And once I get comfortable, I could go ahead and just test for spark. And I also just saw this little key slot. I don't have the key for it, so hopefully I don't need that. It says certain things on it, off, day, night, so that might just be for the headlights and not for like a kill switch or anything. So we'll just see about that. If it doesn't have spark, I'll see if he does have a key for it. And hopefully the spark plug looks good. Hopefully it's not like destroyed or anything. Looks pretty good. It doesn't look like it's ever been like leaned out or anything like that. Definitely running a little bit fat. And it actually looks kind of wet, so I don't know if he tried to put anything in it before or some type of oil. So we'll just set this aside. Spray some WD-40 down there. So I'm just gonna let that sit just for a bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take the kickstart and just little by little just start feeling it out. Make sure I don't, maybe try and feel for ridges, and if I do feel ridges, just be very careful with it. But I have a feeling it's going to turn over relatively good. And also, just looking over everything, sometimes you will see, like between the cases, like where it splits, you'll see like oil leaking because the gasket just gets worn over time. But there is like no oil under there, which could mean, well, there's no oil in it. But, alright, so there is oil on it. You can see right at the end there. It smells like bacon, so that's good. But all of this will come, yeah, right off. This thing's gonna clean up super nice. And I'm not gonna go ahead and do any type of painting or anything like that, like on the rust, just because I want to keep this all original. I'm not sure what my friend's plans are for this bike. My guess would be keep it as original as possible. And then I'm also gonna have to work on getting that fuel tank open. That might be a problem. These old metal tanks usually rust really bad, but I cannot get this cap off whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is just take a rag and take an oil filter wrench and try and twist it off. I'm not going to go crazy with clamping it because I don't want the teeth on this to, you know, mess up the cap at all. So let's see if this works. There we go. Oh boy, doesn't feel that good. Oh my, that is not good at all. That's real bad, and oh, I can see inside of the tank. So here is a closer look inside of that gas tank, and that is really, really bad. That worries me because I'm not sure even if that's gonna be salvageable. There are tricks you could do, like, you know, taking off the gas tank and filling this up with fuel and putting like marbles in there and shaking it around and hope that it comes off. You could also put apple cider vinegar in rusty gas tanks. That's what I did on my old Honda Super Magna. If some of you OG subscribers remember that, it had a really bad gas tank as well. I don't know as bad as that. That's real bad. but I put apple cider vinegar in there, and it ate away at it, and then you just drain it, and it actually came out pretty good. So I'm going to see about that. Definitely consult my friend about it, because once again, this is not my bike, so I don't want to do anything that will hinder the value of this bike. So I have to consult with him before I really do anything major. And I'm also going to try and maybe find ways to possibly revive this gas tank, because it would be good to keep it original. And the outside of it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, underneath this is most likely really nice paint. So I've had the WD-40 in there for a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and slowly crank this over, and oh, there we go. Feels pretty good. I don't actually feel any like binding spots or anything like that. It feels really good. That's a good feeling of relief that this engine is nice and free. I'm actually surprised on how good it does feel. I was, expecting a couple rough spots. Nothing at all. That's actually really impressive. So right now I'm just going to plug in the spark plug back into the spark plug boot, and just ground it out and test for spark. If I had to guess, the compression on this thing is going to be perfect, just because of the low mileage. I doubt this engine is even near worn out or anything like that. Even though it's been sitting, I'm sure this thing is still really strong. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about any top end rebuild or anything like that. All right, let's go ahead and check for spark. I see no spark at all. So I just texted my friend, and he said he has the key laying around somewhere. So I'm not really going to be able to move on unless I have the key, because I need the key for spark. But I'm sure once we do get the key, I am going to have to, take off the carb and clean it out. I'm sure it is completely wrecked in there. And I'm also probably going to need to figure out what I'm going to be doing with this gas tank. Doesn't look like the rust came underneath it all. These fuel lines are real bad. I mean, they're rock solid. But I definitely believe that we are going to be able to get this thing running. I mean, as long as it cranks over, I know I'm going to be able to. So with that being said, I'm going to catch you guys back whenever we do get the key for it. And once we make sure that it has spark, we're going to dive into this thing and hopefully get it running for the first time after 43 years. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys back whenever we get the key. Alrighty guys, so we are back here just a couple days later, and I have the keys to this thing. So we're going to continue working on this thing. First thing I want to do is recheck for spark once I put the key in. Hopefully we're all good there, and then once I do that, I am going to take off the carb and clean it, just because with so many times I've done this, the carburetor has always been the issue. But one thing I'm not sure about just yet is the whole fueling situation, because I don't have a gas tank or anything like that to use in the meantime, just to see if it'll run, because this one is obviously really, really bad. But we'll figure that out once the time comes. So let's put in this key. Now I'm not sure what mode I'm going to put it on. There's day, night, and park. I think that says park. I'm just going to put it on day. I'm sure that's just for the headlights and everything. I'm sure there's spark on all of them. Maybe not park, but day and night, I'm probably sure. So let's try this again. All right. Nice. We have really good spark. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see that, but we got nice strong spark, which is great. So now I'm just going to toss back in the spark plug, and as I was just actually looking at this, it looks like the carb is held in with Phillips head screws, which I do not like, because the chances of the head on the screw of stripping is extremely high. So I'm going to go ahead and try this, what looks like a possible clamp out first, and then back here you just have the little clips, which are nice and easy with the airbox and everything. So looks like it's pretty basic carb. It is a Mikuni. So let's go ahead and dive into this thing and get it ripped out, and once it's out, we'll go through it and clean it out. guys, I just finished up cleaning the carbs and they came out pretty dang good. Not sure how well you're gonna be able to see it, but the needle is unstuck. You can see it right there. Got it cleaned up basically to the best of my ability, but unfortunately I will need to order a new carb gasket for it because this one is literally hard as a rock and just crumbles apart. Float bowl came out pretty good too. I just still got some carb cleaner in there just soaking around, but other than that, this thing came apart pretty easily. The hardest thing was probably just taking off the float itself because the pin was really stuck in there. I actually had to go put it in my vise, keep it nice and lubricated so you don't snap off the little tabs right here that hold the pin, because I have had that happen to me before, and at that point you just need to get a new carburetor. So that would have really sucked if that did happen, but luckily it did not. But unfortunately I'm going to be needing to end off the video here. I got to get some new gaskets ordered. I'm also going to order a new needle gasket. You can see it right in there, the little red one. That one's hard as a rock too. But next video, we should hopefully have the gas tank situation either taken care of or planned out on what we're going to be doing, and we should be able to put the new parts into the carburetor, put it all back together, and hopefully give it its first start. So with that being said, I'm going to be ending off this video here. I really like this bike. I'm really upset that it's not mine, but you know, the best we could do is give it a new life. And if my friend wants me to restore it, you guys might be seeing a little mini series with that bike just to get it back into, you know, better shape. But I don't know if maybe he wants to do that and just wants me to get it running. We'll just see. But anyway, guys, with that being said, follow my social medias. They will be on the outro of this video. Instagram and Snapchat I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, friends about the channel.